We've seen some pretty crazy setups on Setup Wars this past year, and what a better way to end the year than to go over 20 of my favorite picks from 2015. Let's do this. Never pay full price for games ever again, guys. G2A offers the cheapest CD keys you can find anywhere. Check them out by clicking on the link below. Let's begin with episode 1, the setup that started it all. The first ever winner of Setup Wars, which went to Xpurge, an awesome black and red setup with three 24-inch Asus monitors. I also really like the way the monitor riser blends in nicely with the gear. Jumping straight to episode 4, we have Raybonato with the first ever man cave. I really love this setup because of its atmosphere. I felt like dropping everything I was doing and just start gaming. It really looks like a cool place to chill and hang out with friends. The only thing it's missing is a second PC setup for co-op play. From episode 7, Caliper not only won with this amazing triple display setup, but also gets my pick for the top 20 setups of 2015, simply because of the combination of the desk, the PC case, and the fact that he went with the Samsung SyncMaster multi-display system instead of picking up 3 individual monitors. Cable management isn't the best, but everything else I really liked. Mark from episode 10 easily gets to be in this video. It's one of the very few black and white builds that I really enjoyed. The color coordination was off of the charts, great gear choices, clean cable management, and the PC he was rocking was beast. The only thing I didn't like was that random GPU just sitting in the middle of the desk, but everything else was really pleasing to my eyeballs. Who could forget Val from episode 13, easily one of the most unique setups I've ever seen on Setup Wars. I can't help but to feel calm and relaxed looking at this nature-themed setup. The wallpaper in the back, plus the green LEDs and the gaming gear really blend well together. The wallpaper on the monitors and the green LEDs also blend perfectly together with this entire setup. Winning episode 13 was an easy task. Although Alto didn't end up winning episode 17 LG edition, I really liked his music production setup, and even though I didn't recognize half of the gear and equipment he used, everything was so damn organized and very clean. From the symmetry to the acoustic foams on the walls, to the cable management and the way his desk was set up, I mean everything was flawless, and if it were up to me, I would have given him the ultra-wide monitor easily. Of course, we all know who won episode 17. Ashish and his brother Manish made history on Setup Wars to not only receive the very first Setup Wars seal of approval, but also end up winning a brand new LG ultra-wide monitor for this amazing custom-made desk that they both handmade in 40 days. It features custom-made logos with built-in LEDs, and the drawers have their very own dedicated power outlets with great cable management. Not only did they win the Setup Wars LG sponsored edition, but they also won the LG Cardboard Dream Setup Edition, and here's a quick update of their setup that he actually sent me a few days ago. Winner of episode 18 and my favorite setup as well is Abdul with his breathtaking man cave full of nerdgasmic gear. Multiple gaming setups across the gaming room with enough LEDs that make any rave look like a boring Chuck E. Cheese party. Definitely a really dope place to chill with friends and game all night. Episode 19 was a triple monitor edition, which Yazid ended up winning with a unanimous decision. I mean, do I really need to say anymore? Just look at this setup. This is the best black and red setup that I have seen on Setup Wars. The color coordination, symmetry, and cable management easily gave Yazid the win for episode 19. Oh, and let's not forget about that beast PC. Episode 20 was my favorite episode of all time, not just because I co-hosted with Snowy, but because 2 of the setups from there were my favorite as well. Ivan was the runner-up with an amazing quad display black and red setup with the Logitech Racing gear set, and Glazzy with a beautiful triple display setup. The chrome monitor arms combined with the glossy table really made this setup shine. No pun intended. No wonder it won episode 20. For episode 21, Caleb ended up taking the win with an interesting black and green setup. I definitely haven't seen speakers quite that size on a desk before, but I think the custom PC is actually the one who stole the show. A gorgeous black and green custom loop build with a freaking Noctua fan inside the power supply, which is blowing air into the case. I don't even know how he did that. Who could forget episode 24? We had some really amazing setups. Sean from Frosted Gaming is no stranger to Setup Wars. He was featured before as a special guest, but in episode 24 he was a contestant. An amazing white themed setup with 3 Asus 23-inch monitors and a Samsung 4K Smart TV above for console gaming. I mean, this dude even has Dragon Balls in his badass PC, and he still didn't end up winning that episode, which should say something. In fact, the winner of episode 24 went to none other than Mahmoud with a very clean and sexy triple display setup. Mahmoud was really close to receiving the Setup Wars for a seal of approval if it weren't for a few things, but nonetheless, this setup is out of the world. The white backdrop and the desk itself really contributed to this elegant setup. One of the few things that turned me off was the stock CPU cooler in that PC build of his. Harry was my top pick for episode 25 with that quad display setup. Also, having the ROG logo was a huge plus. An awesome black and red gaming setup with great cable management. Other than having a headset on his table, this was a pretty easy decision for me. For episode 27, Falco ended up taking the win for having a very clean white setup. Those extremely thin bezels are what did it for me, along with that awesome monitor riser. There are other things that contributed to the win, like having a microSD card reader mounted in the middle, the white speakers on both sides, and the wireless keyboard and mouse. It's really rare that I enjoy an Apple-based productivity setup, simply because there's nothing cool or unique about it. But in episode 29, I really liked Sebastian's setup. I can't quite figure out the real reason, but maybe it's the combination of minimalism, the cable management, and that view. I think all of those aspects from the setup came together in a perfect balance. Catching up to the most recent episode of Setup Wars, on episode 30, Hyro not only took the win but also received the second ever Setup Wars seal of approval for many reasons. The very clean, color coordinated, organized setup with exceptional cable management and that amazing water-cooled PC. To put it simply, I had no reason not to give him the seal of approval. My man Martin came in a very close second with his impressive ultra-wide setup. I have not seen cable management quite like this before, and I can really tell he spent lots of time on his setup, and that's one of the reasons why he deserves to be on my top 20 list. And finally, we are back to the most recent Setup Wars video and the last one for 2015. My favorite setup by far goes to Julian with that amazing view. Lots of people think it's fake because it looks stunning, but if you guys pay attention to what's outside, you can see that the view changes from each angle. Also, having a projector that doubles as blinds really made my decision easy, and just by glancing in the comment section, Julian will most likely be the winner of episode 31. So that's it for the top 20 setups of 2015 from Setup Wars. For 2016, would you guys like me to do a top 5 setups every 3 months? If so, let me know by dropping a comment down below. I also left a straw poll link in the description section. You guys can go and vote on who has the best desk setup for 2015. The winner will receive $250 and a custom-made plaque. I'll go to announce the winner on the 15th of January on my Twitter and Instagram accounts, so make sure you guys are following me there. If you promote this video or your setup outside of YouTube and encourage votes for your setup, you will be disqualified. Just a quick reminder. If you guys like Setup Wars, make sure to slap the crap out of that like button, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.